Good morning. All right, so I've been thinking about this for a while because during the school year, I do Book Talk Tuesdays. And a couple weeks ago, my first Tuesday where there was no school, I felt weird and I needed to talk to somebody about books, and my family doesn't want to hear it really. It's very sad. Anyway, so then last week I thought, it's Tuesday. I really should be doing a Book Talk Tuesday. And I've been thinking about this since last week. People are always asking me what to read. I'm a librarian, and I'm a librarian, like in my job, but I'm also a librarian to my neighbors and to my friends and to you guys. And you guys ask me for recommendations, and I'll say, oh, yeah, I can give you some. And then we never talk. So I am going to tell you some things I'm reading this summer. I'm going to give you some good suggestions. I read middle grade books like fourth through seventh or eighth grade. So if you have littles, I don't read a lot of those just because my kids don't read a lot of those. So I'm going to share a little bit each week, hopefully on Tuesday. Also, it's summer, and I just ran, so this is what you get. Okay, so the first one I want to tell you about is one I'm reading right now. This is called Words on Fire by Jennifer Nielsen. This is actually an advanced reader copy. I got it 2 weeks ago at a little mini conference I went to. I didn't even know I had it. They gave me a bag of stuff, and I got home, and 2 days later, I pulled it out. I love Jennifer Nielsen, and I love this book. We'll talk about Jennifer Nielsen some other day because I could talk about her all day long. In this book, this girl Audra is Lithuanian, and it is a time when Russia is occupying Lithuania, and they have banned their all Lithuanian books, language, religion, culture, everything. You can't speak Lithuanian anymore, and Audra's parents have been separated from her, and she is in this book trying to reunite with her parents and trying to discover what their big secrets were and what they were trying to hide from her to keep her safe is what they were doing. Anyway, I already have sticky notes in here because I had a student at the end of the year give me this really cool journal, and so I'm going to start writing quotes from books that I just love because I've always said I should do that, and I never do. And now I am. But I can't stop in the middle of the books. I just have sticky notes, and I'll do that later. Amazing quotes about the power of words. I tell kids this all the time. Our words are so powerful, and books can just transform us. Okay. Also, right before that, I just read this book, Genesis Begins Again. It might be backwards on the camera. I can't tell. I don't know. Anyway, this is the first time we're trying it. All right, Genesis Begins Again. This is by Alicia Williams, and Genesis has a list of almost 100 things she does not like about herself. And we all have things we're not real happy about with ourselves. There's nothing we can do about it. I'm not going to write them all down because I don't need to be reminded. But she's got her dad is an alcoholic and he's a gambler. They keep getting evicted from homes because he doesn't pay the bills. He says he is, but he doesn't. His mom loves his dad and wants to keep supporting him. And so, she keeps going along with all his shenanigans. But Genesis, in the middle of all this, doesn't have friends that she can keep because she keeps moving. She doesn't really know who she is. She hasn't discovered what she loves to do. One of the things that she does discover through a choir teacher in this book is the love of music. And I totally connect with that because I love music, and her dad and her music teacher seem to be big Motown fans, and so am I. So I thought it was a fantastic book. Another one I read was Speechless. This is about a kid who his name is Jimmy, and he is told at the beginning of the book that he has to give the eulogy at his cousin's funeral. Okay, so that's bad enough when you're like 12 or 13 and you have to give a eulogy at your cousin's funeral. But he cannot think of one nice thing to say about his cousin. He and his cousin, his cousin had some pretty severe emotional and behavior problems, and he just was hard to be around, and kind of ruined everything for Jimmy all his life. And so he was really struggling to find something nice to say. So it's a great book because I think we all see kids in the grocery store having a crazy, nasty fit, and we think, why are the parents putting up with this? Or we're in a school building and kids are having a fit, and we think they're a little too old for this. What's wrong with these kids? Why don't the parents do anything? This is a great book to help us understand them a little bit better. I think any book that can teach us about empathy is is important for us to read. The next one I'm going to be reading is Kwame Alexander, booked because I just cannot stop watching soccer. I'm like either watching soccer or I'm reading right now because I love it. I just love watching soccer. I've even stopped watching the Astros because I'm in the stock. I mean, soccer is only for a limited time. I'm reading this next because I haven't read this. I've read Crossover. I love how Kwame Alexander writes. It's like free form poetry in here, and so it's not as long as it looks. But his stories, the way he develops his story through his poetry is fantastic. Great for boys, great for girls. You should pick it up. All right, so this is just the first time try. I will put these in some notes at the bottom. I have to leave in just a second, but I'll come back and put them in the notes in the bottom, and then you can pick up some of these. I will give you some more recommendations. I love talking about books, so happy Book Talk Tuesday.